Guess what? Hickok 45 here. Every time I hit it was when the sights were on it as I broke the trigger. I'm honest and serious about that. Let me try one more time. Got him that time. All right. Yeah, that's what happens even with a target pistol. You still have to have the sights on the target when the trigger breaks. Funny thing about that. I thought I'd start out with a little longer range with it because it is a target pistol. It's very accurate, quote unquote. Probably way more accurate than almost anybody holding it, okay? As you've seen our video on accuracy, you know what I'm talking about. But this is the SIG Sauer P210. Glad to bring it to you. It's not a firearm that probably a lot of your buddies have. I don't know if any of my buddies have one or not. I'm trying to think. It's where I first saw it was with a friend of mine had one in his shop. But it's not extremely common because it's kind of pricey, and it is a target SIG Sauer. So SIG Sauer, you've heard the name, you've seen a lot of them here at the compound. You've not seen this particular one. We've had a lot of requests over the years to take a look at it, and I guess even going back, I know well before they were made in this country, because now they're made here in Exeter, New Hampshire. But they've been made in Germany, you know, and then way back in you know, Swiss and everything. But I was vaguely familiar with them, but not extremely so. Like I say, you don't see them very often, and just wasn't all that familiar with it. And plus, they were also expensive, and they're kind of a target pistol. I remember being in a shop. A friend of mine had one. He showed me one time, and somebody else somewhere showed me one. And these were the older models, and they were just drooling over them. It was kind of funny because I thought, what is that again? You know, SIG what? What's the model number? I just wasn't familiar with it. So I couldn't even appreciate what they were showing me. I know y'all have been there too, right? We all have. There's thousands of guns and models of firearms that we're just not familiar with, you know, even if they're classics and they're a beloved firearm, you know, by millions maybe, you know, I ain't heard of that one yet, you know. So anyway, enough on that. Really cool gun. Got some history. We're going to shoot federal ammo in it. We got several kinds here. Won't need a ton of it because it's just a 8-round magazine. We got 2 mags. And let me yeah, it was clear. I just had another mag in my pocket I haven't used. But I might just take it off here before we get too far afield. It's one of those firearms that I don't know I'd ever necessarily want to own it or need to own it. Wouldn't turn one down if I found one lying on the street. You know, there's a lot of guns on the street, they say, but I never see them on the street. But if I saw this one on the street lying there, I would pick it up. It would be worth picking up, no doubt about it. You can tell with the grip, it's a target model. I mean, it just fits you like a glove. You know, nice beaver tail and all that, adjustable sights, and just gorgeous. Maybe while I take it apart, I'll give you a little bit of the history. I'm not going to give you everything. If you want to know a lot more about it, you know, I meant to bring out that wooden handle screwdriver. Maybe I won't need it. You know, it's new and tight, and I don't want to scratch it or anything, but to get the pin out. But anyway, this thing goes back to, I think, 1949. This was now not the target version of it, but the standard version of it, which isn't all that different. Made essentially the same way, just didn't have the target grips and maybe the safety here and all that. But it was made and adopted by the Swiss for their army. I think from 49 I read to 1975. So that's almost 25 years, my Kentucky relatives. This firearm was the sidearm, and it was used by police, as I understand too, and by Swiss police, but the Swiss Army. This is adopted. I read that it was the most expensive firearm, handgun, you know, ever adopted, you know, by an army or a police agency, because it's always been pricey. It's expensive to make. It's and now let me show you why here to some extent. Okay, we're definitely clear, and so we need to take some of the pressure off that slide. As soon as that barrel starts to drop, then this will push. Let me use brass on that maybe. I've been hitting it with a Yeah, let's fire that round. I've been hitting it with a screwdriver. Let me punch it with this a little bit here. I don't want to. Yeah, this will go back to E-gunner, so I don't want to scratch it up. There we go. Pull that out. There we go. Now you see it's got the full length rail. All right, so when that slides on there, plus it goes inside. Notice that? Like this CZs, and a few guns are like that. That full length rail, and boy, it feels like it's a precision machine. It really does. Slides on that rail. It's tight, but not too tight. Just perfect. So that's going to hold it in line pretty well. This is an interesting setup too, the way the spring is, and you guys see the pin, the hole there goes, the pin, the slide stop goes right through that. Locks it down in there. And you got the lug here, it locks up there in the opening. So pretty interesting. I think the earlier ones had more of a lug like the 1911, but so some slight changes, but it's still basically the same firearm. Known for reliability and accuracy for a long time, but it really does seem to be well made. And did I say it yet? They're now made in the United States, in Exeter, New Hampshire. And I think that's just as of about 2016 or 17, just about a year they've been manufacturing them here. And before that, they were made in Germany and shipped over here. You could get them. So this is kind of a newer version of it. All right. Now the early ones had the back in the 60s, 50s, whatever, had the heel type mag release. I don't think they had the thumb safety. They were just a little different finish, of course, too, and the grips were just kind of plain flat grips. The ones I felt good, but of course these target grips are magnificent. Even with my hand, I'm sure they didn't make them for a hand this big, but it feels pretty good. But you really, this is, even though it's expensive, I tell you, a lot of you would really like this pistol. You really would, because a lot of people are not necessarily looking for a carry piece. They're not ever going to carry. Maybe they can't even, it's not even legal for you to carry wherever you live. All right, could be in this country, could be in another country. And so range gun is what you're looking for, something to get the most out of in terms of accuracy. You want a really good feeling gun, really accurate firearm. This might be it. I tell you, it feels great. I'll take the pressure off that, and push that on in. Here we go. Because that slide, it just feels so good. I mean, it's precision, no doubt about it. I've felt a lot of firearms before, and this one feels good. I mean, its reputation precedes itself. I don't need to brag on it. If you know anything about the SIG Sauer P210, you already know what I'm talking about. I'll go ahead and load this magazine. It's just a wonderful piece of hardware. So up until about 75, that was their firearm, their handgun, their Army issue, and then I think they switched to the P220, because this one was expensive, very expensive, pretty big, pretty long, and they went to the P220. And SIG, I think about that time is when SIG and J.P. Sauer and Sons in Germany, kind of merged, or however all that went, and so it became SIG Sauer. Guess what? And then they've been made in Germany, I think, since around about that time, and or maybe even before a little bit. I'm not that familiar with my SIG and SIG Sauer history. And again, they've been imported into this country, but not in big numbers, I don't think. I know that I saw in a collector's forum some guys talking about, people talking about some of the older ones and getting their hands on some of those, and they're highly desirable as a collector's piece. Some of those old ones going for like $2,500, $3,000 and all that kind of thing. This one is priced a little bit more reasonably, probably because it's made in this country now. I think it's about $1,500 is what you can get it for. So in terms of the quality and everything, that may not be all that outrageous. It's a lot of money, for a pistol, but it probably not all that outrageous. Okay. Now I probably cannot do it justice, if you put this in the hands of you know, an Olympic shooter or something, you know, they really could. You know, I can hit a big target on a good day, but this thing, there's just no telling what kind of groups you could shoot. You know, if you really know what you're doing, you really know what you're doing. It is considered, you know, kind of the gold standard for a 9mm target pistol. So now watch me miss everything I shoot at with it. Here's my gold standard for a target pistol, hitting a tin can at a couple of yards, or a bowling pin, going bowling with it. Yeah, or looking for 2 liters to shoot. Let's see, watch me on that stop sign. Somebody hit it right in the middle. Let me see if I can hit it close. Okay. Boom. Snake eyes. I was holding right on the hole, so it prints just a little above where you hold. Let's try that 2 liter there. Boom. It has not malfunctioned on me yet. I've got another mag in my pocket. Let's just shoot it. Why don't we hit the gong with it? It's such a nice pistol. It deserves the experience, even though it shouldn't be much of a challenge for the pistol. Now, no challenge for the pistol, maybe for me. Let's try a pig over there. I think if I hold right on the bottom of his belly, might be about right. Feels good. Tell you what, any missing you do with this, it's on you. It's on me. I don't like those UT 2 liters staring at me right there. There's another green one. And I missed it, and I knew I was going to miss it because my sights were not on the target when it broke. So, like I say, not everybody's looking for a carry pistol, and so we thought we'd, you know, let you take a look at this one. I don't know why I'm going to do this, put hollow points in it. Why am I doing it, John? Do we know? But I will, just for kicks. I don't know if there's any reason why you'd want to shoot hollow points in this thing, but I don't know, maybe somebody's curious. We'll do it just because we can, okay? And you never know. Today's target pistol might be the one that saves your life. Might end up being a defensive firearm. Could happen. So mainly we're shooting Federal 200 or 124 grain, 124 grain full metal jacket. It's getting chilly out here. I can't talk. My tongue is getting frozen. Okay, there we go. Just have the 2 mags. It comes with 2 mags, and anything else I'm forgetting about. It comes with this box and 2 mags. And did I tell you anything else about it that's really an untruth? Like now, like I say, the earlier ones come with more of a blued, smoother, shinier finish. This is smooth, but this is more of a matte finish. It is, come think of it, I read that it is milled out of solid blocks of stainless steel, both the slide and the frame. And the barrel is stainless steel, and it's all got a nitron finish on it. Okay, that SIG proprietary nitron finish, but it's all stainless steel coated with that. Okay, you know, it used to be when something was stainless steel, it looked like stainless steel when I was younger, but now you can't tell. Can't tell the players without a scorecard. It could be stainless steel and it looks like it's not stainless steel. We haven't shot the paper yet, have we? Let's put them all over it with my left hand. How's that? My weak hand. All right. Who knows where this will go? Well, somewhere out of the white. It's supposed to have about a 3.5 pound trigger on it. Okay. Yep. Strong enough to smoke pot. Oh, there's that green one I left. Oh, that little gopher. Let's shoot that little gopher. Yeah, since we have a target firearm here. It feels good. Feels good in the hand. Has a great trigger. So you know, and of course the 9mm, you know, you don't have much recoil. It's a fairly heavy, you know, pistol, and so it's just very pleasant to shoot. And I forgot I had these hollow points, so let's try that. After all, if a target pistol will not feed hollow points, what good is it? Since we have hollow points, let's just take out the cowboy down there. Yeah. Hey, it fed them. Let's go over there and let's try the red plate on the left. No, let's try the turkey. I don't like him standing up there mocking me. Oh, hit it, but didn't knock it over. There we go. He took 2 hits, even though they were hollow points. Let's try plates here. Yep, ran out of ammo. You would like this pistol. Excuse me, I'm not trying to, you know, talk you into buying something that's more money than you ought to spend, but, you know, it does seem like so many pistols that we all want to learn about, and that we show you, and you know, they're carry guns, whether it's a wild LC9S or EC9S or, you know, a Ruger Security 9, or it seems like we do a lot of Rugers, don't we? It's just so many pistols are that $400, $500, $600 Glock or a SIG or an M&P. They're great guns and good target guns, a lot of them, and great carry guns, great home defense firearms, just fun to shoot, you know, in general, because we're living in a heyday of firearms manufacturing, you know, really. There's so many great firearms. But, you know, a firearm like this is a notch above all those in terms of just like probably accuracy, if you get right down to it, high level accuracy. Just the feel of it, the way it's made, you know, I sound like a SIG sales rep, don't I? But it really is. I don't know what, the only big negative is the price, really. This is a firearm that anybody would, you know, appreciate, I think, and that likes to shoot and would enjoy owning. Okay, it's just a little bit more money than most people need to pay or want to pay for something like this. I don't know what a negative would be. It feels good to me. The trigger feels great. It's got adjustable sights on it, and you can tell when you take it apart and you just, you know, mess with it. It kind of hits your brain. You know what? The people that designed this thing, I'll bet they'd have been good at making watches. You know, that really does come to your mind. About half of you are going, well, what do you mean by that, right? Figure it out. But it's pretty cool. Let's load it up one more time, and even the grips look good. Okay. I don't know how hard this thing is to find. I was searching around looking for some pricing, make sure I had my pricing information correct on it and everything, and it looked to me like a lot of people were sold out on it. So I don't know if they're just not making them yet in big enough numbers, or just a lot of, you know, a lot of wealthy people like 22 Plankster are just buying them all up. I don't know. Oh yeah, speaking of Plankster, he would like this. He's one of those guys that thinks accuracy is important. So he could probably pick off a flea with this thing at 500 yards, don't you imagine? But yep, one of those cool pistols in the world, and also a little bit historical. You know, it's kind of strange to think that thing was carried. This darn Swiss carrying something like this for 25 years, being their sidearm. Pretty interesting. Well, let's shoot a couple more before we go to the house. I'm always telling you guys that you might need to run to dinner. Well, actually, John and I need to run to dinner here in a minute. Let's shoot that tree. Yeah. It's still a 9mm. That's why it's so pleasant to shoot. 9mm. And it does appear to feed anything, doesn't it? Got that one off before I meant to. It has a nice light trigger. And I think, well, let's go over there. I want to hit that red plate on the left at least once. Okay, I started to say, well, like I said, I wanted to hit him just once. I hit him twice. That's all me, of course, when I miss. It usually is. So we're clear. Mag is empty. Pretty nice pistol, SIG Sauer P210. So, you know, now guns that come out of there are SIG Sauers. You know, they're not SIG, they're SIG Sauers. And this is one of them. And nice pistol, might be something that you'd have interest in if they're available in large enough numbers. And, you know, if you don't have to mortgage your house to buy it. So they're not cheap, but they're one of those pistols. A lot of firearms surprise you, don't they, with the price? You know, wow, why is it $1,000, or why is it, you know, it's that much? This one, you know, it feels like a $1,500 firearm, no doubt about it, and you know, be one that you know, that you would feel like your money was kind of justified if you could afford it, and you really had a yen for something like this. I just noticed it's got the checkering on the front strap. You know, it just got everything in a target pistol that somebody might want. So you got your optical, your fiber optic rather, front sight, you know, adjustable rear sights and everything. So you could get this one zeroed in right on target. And the only problem with it, here's a negative. Price is one negative. The other negative is when you take this to the range and you shoot it, and if you're not hitting the target, guess what? There's nothing to blame it on. Just like me today, you know, when I miss, there's nothing I can blame it on, except guess what? Me. So be ready for that. You might not want it. You might want one of those ugly old inaccurate Glocks, so you can, you know, have a scapegoat, something to blame it on. But anyway, the SIG Sauer P210 now made in this country, and pretty nice pistol. Some history to it. Life is good.
Hey, how you guys doing? Just here practicing a little guitar, as you can tell. I need to get better. Just on the range hanging out. But I wanted to let you guys know while I'm here, since you guys just stumbled in on my practice session, about our friends over at SDI. You can check them out at sdi.edu. That's the Sonoran Desert Institute. They're a fully accredited online distance learning program where you can be certified in gunsmithing, or you can get an associate's degree in firearms technology. That's sdi.edu. Also, don't forget about our friends over at vaulteksafe.com. You've seen their safes, the Vaultek, on our shooting table. So don't forget to check them out if you get a chance. And also all of our other social media entities. We are on Patreon now, so you can find us on Patreon. There'll be links in the description. Just Hickok45 on Patreon. We are on Facebook, of course, Hickok45 on Facebook. You can also find Hickok45 on Instagram, the real Hickok45 at Instagram, Hickok45 on Twitter, full30.com, and then I have some social media stuff, John_Hickok45 on Instagram, John Hickok on Facebook, and there's also Hickok45 and Son Facebook, and the Hickok45 and Son YouTube channel, of course. And I guess that's all I can think of for now. I believe that's all of our different social media things. So I guess I'll get back to my practice. As you can tell, I need to get a lot better, but I think I'm improving just a little bit. I don't know, we'll see.